Y hasta ahora, esperando el trabajo.
All right, what's up, everybody? We'll go ahead and get started here in just a moment. If you can hear us and if you can see in 1080p, just go ahead and give us a thumbs up in the chat and we will get started here momentarily. We're going to be going all the way down to the West Village tonight, so we are going to have to hurry things up a little bit. So we'll get started in a minute. All right, cool. All right, let's see who we got in the chat. As you can tell, it's very windy outside. I don't know why, because pretty much all day today it was perfect weather. It was sunny, it was nice, but I think we got a little bit of a windy front coming in, so we'll see. Lena Sandoval, what's going on? Robert, Rick, O-Wise Owl, Alan, Jay Wise says hello from South Korea. Annyeonghaseyo. Mark T. This is Tom. I enjoyed the downtown Miami walk today. I really need to make the 2.5-hour drive from Port St. Lucie. You do. You know, Miami is an awesome city. We talk about it a lot. And I'm really glad that you enjoyed the tour today. Now, for those of you who don't know, usually every other day I try to upload a 4K standalone sort of walking tour of either Miami or New York. Wow, that wind is crazy. Look at the flags blowing in the breeze. DM, what's up? Happy Saturday. I don't know what it is, but New York is always windy. I don't get it. It's like cartoonishly windy tonight. All right, let's try to pull off to the side. I got to zip up my jacket. And also happy 420 to everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut across the island of Manhattan. And then we are going to go down to the West Village. As you know, I love the West Village. It's one of my favorite places in the entire city. Lots of nightlife, lots of fun, and that's where we're going to go today. But right now, we're currently standing on the corner of 5th Avenue and 57th Street. This is the official start of New York City's Billionaires Row. And this is the main Tiffany building that's finally renovated. And then you have the Aman New York that stands right here. This is one of the most luxurious hotels, not only in New York City, but really the world. And I think room rates start at about $1,500 a night, which is just crazy. $1,500 for one night to stay in a hotel. Crazy, crazy. This is also Trump Tower, by the way. That's why you see all these police barricades. The former president is in New York City for the trial, I think his criminal case. So on the other side and this side of 5th Avenue, you're going to see all the barricades, police officers, NYPD, and federal agents too, Secret Service and the like, right outside of Trump Tower. Trump Tower is open to the public, by the way, up until 10 p.m. So you can come right here, 57th Street and 5th. It's open to the public from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's actually kind of nice in there. I like it. A little bit dated, right? You feel like you're walking into the 1980s, but it's very clean. It's very cool. I like it. DC, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Oh, Peter, is that right? Trump's in North Carolina today for a rally. Didn't know that. Yeah, but look at all these barricades. You see 3 police officers here. You have a nice NYPD cruiser here. But what a lot of people don't know, a lot of non-New Yorkers, right here is the main entrance to the residences at Trump Tower. So this is 721 5th Avenue. So Trump Tower right on 5th is a multi-purpose building. You have commercial offices, you have retail, you also have restaurants too, and then people live here. So if you live here, you own a condo or you rent, you go right in here. 721 5th Avenue, and then my office is right at the end of the block, right on Madison, 575 Madison Avenue. Mary, what's going on? Krog Dog, always a pleasure to have you here. We're going to try to pick up the pace a little bit because we were supposed to start off tonight's live stream in Dumbo, Brooklyn. Obviously that didn't materialize. I was had to come back to the office to do some paperwork, and now we're here. So Isabella says, did you have any Russian food in Brighton Beach? I didn't. I was there for like 2 hours today. I actually didn't have to stay there for long. We're working on a really interesting project there. If anybody's familiar with Brighton Beach, there's a very, very rich Russian community there. It's right on the boardwalk, and the development we're working on is Oceana. Not sure if anybody's familiar with it. We're not working on the apartments, we're working on the garage. So all of the parking spaces at the Oceana condominium complex, people are renting them, right? Anywhere from $300 a month to $500 a month. We were tasked with helping the owner of the garage convert these into individual deeded condo spaces, similar to what we're doing on 69th Street. So instead of renting, these people will be able to purchase their individual spaces. They'll get a deed to their space, and I think a lot of parking garages are going to go by that wayside because it's very, very monotonous and laborious to operate kind of like a valet garage. So a lot of times, what you'll start to see are parking operators zone for condos. So each individual space is a condo, and then they sell them depending on where they are, right? If it's in a prime location like Tribeca, it'll probably be something like $300,000 per parking space. If it's on the Upper East Side, it'll probably be anywhere between $140,000 to $175,000. Brighton Beach, we'll probably go to market at $135,000, $140,000, depending on the space. And it's 80 spaces, so you figure, 80 spaces at 150,000, what's that? Like $14 million sellout, something like that. So it's not bad. And these are all direct deals, so there is money there. Long Island Duck, what's up? Saw Brighton Beach. Very cool. Guys, this is the University Club. You got to look up this building. This is an unbelievable landmark here in New York City. I love it. Now, we're not allowed to film here, but we're outside, so anything within view, you're allowed to film. Look at those crown moldings on the ceiling. Absolutely stunning. Very similar to what you would see in the New York Public Library. And again, this is the University Club. If you're interested in kind of looking up where this is, it is West 54th Street and 5th Avenue. Now, right across the street is an interesting development. This is the Mandarin Oriental Residences. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, which is right in the Deutsche Bank Center, the Deutsche Bank Towers. Also, there's one in Miami, right on Brickell Key, which we were streaming past there when we were down in Miami. This is the Residences. So if you like the allure and the feel of the hotel, you could actually purchase your own condo that is branded Mandarin Oriental. West 54th Street and 5th Avenue, and you're going to be next door neighbors to Jefferies, which is a very reputable boutique bank, investment bank for that matter. All right, let me check on some of the comments. Check the Logic is here, always a pleasure. Sunshine after rain, thank you for joining us. DM says Oceana is a nice complex. It really is. Here's the thing though, DM, and this is just probably personal preference. Brighton Beach is very, very far, or as in New York we call, that's deep, like really, really deep out there. It's the last stop, I believe, on the D train, the D or the B train. And wow, look at this. Stunning crown moldings in there. It's a beautiful place. And during the winter, it's extremely windy out there and it's extremely cold in Brighton Beach. Now, however, in the summer, you're right on the boardwalk, you're right on the water. It's great, right? Not my thing. I would probably never want to live there, but I do see why people like it. I do. So the Oceana condominium complex is a nice spot. And they have about 80 parking spaces there. Steph UF, happy Saturday. Trust you're having a good weekend so far. And happy 420. Wow, DMs is used to travel to Brighton Beach daily. Every day. That's a hike. Hey, 5 bags of popcorn. Says, do they offer buy one, get one? Sometimes actually I know it's kind of like being funny, but actually, yeah, sometimes yes. Sometimes yes. That's what we try to do. We try to sell them as like a bulk deal. If somebody can buy 3 or 4 spaces next to each other, you'll probably get 20% off each space, something like that, give or take. Yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic. I never really thought I would get sort of looped up or wrapped up in this type of business, but if you think about the average ticket price, right? Hold on, look at how beautiful the outdoor dining is here. Really stunning. But in some places across the United States, you can buy a house for $150,000 to $300,000, right? So, a parking space in New York City at $175,000 to $300,000, the deal structure, the way that's structured, not a lot of, let's say, salespeople want to get involved in it, right? Because it's not like sexy as selling a New York City penthouse or something, right? So there's really not a lot of competition. So my boss and I, we've actually been seeking out a lot of parking operators to pitch them on this sales structure, which has been really lucrative because, it's all direct business. We are actively calling the people who are already renting these spaces, telling them that it's first come, first serve. You can purchase the space. If you don't want to purchase the space, we'll then go ahead and market it to somebody outside of the complex or outside of the garage, and most people buy it. Right? Most people buy the space. It's an interesting business. So my thought there is, what if we can get a massive amount of garage business, right? Accumulate, let's say, 250 to 300 spots to sell at $175,000 each. That's significant money, right? That's not nothing. So it's, in New York City, there's opportunity to make money anywhere, really. Quick pit stop, very, very quick pit stop here. This is 53 West 53rd Street. It's right on the corner of 6th Avenue or Avenue of the Americas. It's adjacent the Hilton Flagship Hotel, which is right there. That's actually a really nice Hilton, by the way. I'm not sure if anybody has stayed here. I've stayed here once. I like it. And I've stayed here before all of the renovations when it was temporarily closed for the coronavirus. So it's probably even better now. But look at this, 53 West 53rd. This is one of the Billionaires Row-esque style buildings. They have two entrances, one here and then one on 53rd. We're on 54th. And the amenity package there is insane. You have pools, you have gyms, you have pet spas, like dog spas, all types of crazy stuff. And you're also near the very famous Warwick Hotel, which is beautiful Art Deco style architecture as opposed to the glass encased facades of Billionaires Row. I know RPT says Jamie Dimon's building is being topped off. Yeah, 270 Park is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited about that building. I'm excited in general about the recovery of New York, particularly on Park Avenue. You're going to have so many amazing buildings going up. 270 Park is just one of the many that are going up. We talked about 350 Park Avenue. If you guys want to check that one out, we've talked about that. 350 Park is going to be the new headquarters of Citadel, which is cool. Silver Mines, as I used to live on 55th and 5th. Wow, that's a really nice location. Pretty centrally located. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way for us to kind of get down to the West Village. Renee says, Tom, did you do a live stream in Florida today? I wish I did a live stream in Florida today. I did not. Although, it was nice weather here in New York today. It was in Bryant Park after Brighton Beach. It was pretty nice. But we did upload a video showcasing downtown Miami, which is great. We're going to walk right past the Conrad, which is another really nice hotel. And then we'll probably make this left and start to make our way down. We have a pretty long hike, pretty long trip tonight. We have to go all the way past Times Square, all the way past 34th Street, Penn Station, down through Flatiron District, through Washington Square Park, and tonight, Washington Square Park is probably going to be pretty wild because today is 420. And then we'll take a look around the West Village, which is one of my favorite neighborhoods in all New York City. Speaking of parking, here's another parking. Let's see how much it costs. Ah, this is only daily. It looks like they don't do monthlies. Interesting. I feel like this plot of land that's just housing like 7 cars right there could be put to much better use. They could probably build like condos there, or at least rentals. I know, oh wise owl, Washington Square Park is definitely going to be crazy. This is the main entrance of the Conrad New York Midtown. 151 West 54th Street. This is actually a very nice hotel. Hey, what's up, D? We are in Midtown, but we're going to start headed down in just a moment. Hey, Briner, this is Tom. I haven't been to Miami since 2017. Your videos are making me want to go back. You know, if you haven't been to Miami since 2017, when you go back and if you explore Sunny Isles Beach, downtown Miami, Brickell and Brickell Key, you're going to be totally shell-shocked. I'm even surprised. You know, every time I go back to Miami, I am extremely, extremely impressed. They just did a big renovation on the Bayside Marketplace. They have brand new Pier 5, which is amazing. And a lot of cool buildings going up there too. Sam Oliver says, Tom, garage spaces, 1 or 2 cars, question mark? What do you mean? Look at this, Central Park Tower. This is the tallest building on New York City's Billionaires Row. But we're gonna head the exact opposite way. We're gonna go through Times Square. As you can see in the distance, that huge beacon of light down there, that's it. Hey, JJ, what's going on? Wow, Long Island Ducks says I haven't been to Miami since 1981. I wish there were videos on YouTube. I wish there were videos on YouTube to see what Miami was like back then. Just to kind of compare and contrast. Watch the videos now and then watch them back in the day. Patricia Ivory says Miami is a little bit too new. I kind of agree, but if you go to South Beach, I believe South Beach has the largest concentration of Art Deco style buildings in America. So if you spend the entire day in Brickell, if you spend the entire day in downtown Miami, and then you go over the MacArthur Causeway to South Beach, you're going to feel like you're in a different city. You're going to feel like you're in a completely different world. Because they're all low-rise buildings, they're all older buildings, and they're all Art Deco. But I agree. I think I agree with you. It feels like super futuristic. Hey, Jen Claus is here. This is happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too. Welcome to New York on 420. This is the Sheraton, New York. Artificially colored. Says you could find footage from the 1920s, I'm sure, the 1980s in Miami on YouTube. I'll have to check it out. You know what would be a cool video for someone to do? Like make a side-by-side. So do like a split screen and walk downtown Miami and walk Brickell. And on one side you have the 2024 footage, and on the other side you have the 1980s footage. But make it simultaneous so you're walking the same path. That'd be really cool. Same thing in New York too. I mean, if the last time somebody was in New York was 2014, I mean, this place has changed in a major, major way. I mean, think about all of the new development that has been built. I mean, even since 2008, even since the financial crisis, right? The Hudson Yards, completely brand new. You know, Lower Manhattan near the Trade Center, pretty much every single building literally on Billionaires Row is 2014 and onward. So if you were in New York City the last time, pre-2014, that means you've never seen a Billionaires Row building in person. It's kind of crazy, right? And it's set to change even more. That's another thing. My fear is that, in 100 years, you won't even be able to see some of the most iconic New York buildings because they'll be overthrown by these super tall skyscrapers. That's kind of my only fear, but maybe I'm just resisting the change. Who knows? Hey, Paul, thank you so much for your generous donation. I appreciate you. Tom M says, are you and your business friends expecting a rebound soon or further deterioration? What do you mean? Are you talking about like the market, like the stock market? The real estate business? If you're talking about the stock market, we're in a correction. We are in a correction and a lot of the high beta stocks are being dumped. There's a lot of profit taking and institutions are hiding out in the conservative names. So utilities, and we kind of covered this last night. But if you looked at the close on Friday, if you did a screener, all the up to down volume, everything tech involved was down in a major way, like slaughtered. Utilities performed really well. Financials performed really well. Commodities performed fairly well. Gold performed good and Bitcoin performed good. So anytime you really have a market where utilities are performing great, energy, financials, that's like a risk-off market, profit-taking, but we haven't had a correction since the S&P 500 broke new all-time record highs. All right, I'm trying to make a judgment call here because I remember last night we were buffering right over here. So I don't know, maybe we'll try to send it all the way down through Times Square. All right, let's cross. Somebody's asking what I do, real estate or equity research, both. Pretty much both. If you type !Thomas in the chat, the Nightbot will drop our bio. You can check it out. Oh. This kid's almost wiped out on that bike. Five bags of popcorn. This is what I remember about 2002 was the constant trucks rumbling through with debris. Interesting. Sam Oliver. Sometimes they have like 150 spaces per garage. I would say 22 to about 150 plus spaces per garage, depending on where it is. All right, I think we're going to be good. So, a fun fact here, for those of you who are new, this is a little bit of a throwback to the 2008 financial crisis. This is 745 7th Avenue. This was the old Lehman Brothers. currently Barclays, right? Because that was part of the deal when Lehman Brothers collapsed. Barclays took over here. So if you ever watched one of those 2008 financial crisis documentaries, and you see all those bankers coming out of revolving doors with their, all their stuff in cardboard boxes, it was right here, right here. It's pretty crowded tonight, Times Square. Hey, FDNY is here. So good evening, Tom. Great to see you again. Hope you're having an awesome weekend. I am. Pretty good weekend. Hope the same for you. Thanks for joining us. We're in Times Square now, but we're going to head to the West Village. We actually have to pick up the pace a little bit. Fluids, do people ever look at you funny for filming? I don't even know. I'm oblivious to it. I don't pay attention. I don't care. I mean, New York City is such a crazy city. The stuff that you can see on the street is so bizarre and sometimes disturbing. I mean, cameras are pretty normal, I think. I mean, the stuff that I've seen throughout the years in New York City, especially on the subways, people defecating on the subways. I've seen people just do the most disturbing, outlandish stuff you could ever imagine. So no, not really. All right, let's cross here. Hey, Hunters is late to join. What happened to Dumbo? Yeah, I had to come back to the office, unfortunately. I was in Brighton Beach, but I had to double back to the office. And I was in the office late. So maybe we'll try to be in Dumbo tomorrow, but we're going to try to boogie on down to the West Village. It was also quite windy. I would say right at 5 o'clock, the wind really started to pick up, but we'll see. See, the funny thing about this market, and I'm talking about the real estate market in New York, like I'm working with a lot of clients, which I'm very blessed, right? And we have a lot of offers out on stuff, but it's so difficult to get things to close in this market. Because especially in Manhattan, and this is totally anecdotal data, by the way. This is just what I'm seeing. So this is an anecdote. Sellers don't, at least here, at least with the properties that I'm bidding on for clients, particularly resales, they don't need to negotiate, and a lot of them aren't really willing to play ball because they don't really need to sell, which has been a little bit frustrating. So if you're like $50,000 off, or even $100,000 off, right? The seller won't budge, and they'll just be like, meh, And the feedback from the broker is, they just may take the listing off the market and just wait until conditions improve. And I think that's because a lot of people in Manhattan, particularly if you own, let's say, like a $3 million condo, $4 million condo, something like that, chances are that's not your only place, right? You probably have multiple other places all over the country, so you don't really need to take a bath on the deal. So it's really whatever price that you want. If you don't get it, well, they'll wait out for it. So I have a lot of offers out on things, but tough market. Not a lot of transactions are getting done. There needs to be some sort of catalyst Wow, Times Square is actually really packed tonight. You know, for major downturns, and I'm just going to ramble on here. If you think about why valuations dropped so much in 2008, it was because people had to liquidate, people had to sell. Since the lows of 2008, there's been so much wealth created in America. And this is, you know, you could actually see this in the data. There's about $6.5 trillion sitting in money market accounts right now. So a lot of people are very, very well capitalized, and there's a lot of people with a crazy amount of money. And if there's so much money sitting on the sidelines chasing all the same deals, well, that kind of puts an automatic bid and a floor under the market. So it's been tough. That's not to say that there's not fire sales out there, because there are. But if there's a really, really good deal and something is priced very, very well, it's gone in a month, max. So it's been tough, honestly. All right, guys, let's try to navigate here. We'll go over to the left. There's a sign that says, watch out for pickpockets. I remember they had that up this year at Bryant Park. All right, we'll try to make a U-turn around all these people. Hey, Solo 401. Thanks for joining us. This is where they play The Lion King. Man, I don't know how it comes out on the live stream, but a lot of these new advertisements in Times Square, these billboards, they're so realistic. It's like before you could see the individual pixels. Now, I mean, everything is so clear. Like these are like next level billboards. Fluid says, would you ever come to the UK or London? I would love to visit London. Huge, huge fan of London, England. Would absolutely love it. Hey, David says, do you think it's fair what New York City is doing to Trump by going after him, something literally every real estate developer does? No, I don't think it's fair. You probably just set off a firestorm in the chat, but it's all right. Yeah, Solar Flowers is maybe OLED displays. I don't know. You know what's funny? I was looking through some old archives of newspaper articles, and does anybody remember when those big screen TVs were like $3,000? And people were freaking out. They're like, oh, I just got this new flat screen TV. It's $3,000. And now you could walk into a Walmart and get like a 50-inch TV, you know, flat screen TV for like $350 to $550. And it just kind of goes to show what technological innovation, kind of the life cycles, what they look like, right? So at first, you have a new technology and it's very, very expensive. And then what happens is once mass adoption happens and you have production ramping, it drives costs down significantly. And I think you're going to see that in EVs in general. And I think that's what Elon Musk and Tesla are trying to do. You know, drive down costs, increase those operational efficiencies. But you know, that TVs are just one little small example, right? And many people would say, well, Tom, well, what about a phone? You know, an iPhone's $1,500. Well, I would argue that an iPhone is extremely cheap. Like, an iPhone is extremely cheap. And let me explain. If you think about your iPhone or your smartphone right now, it's your phone, it's your TV, it's your radio, it's your internet, it's your camcorder, right? It's your camera. So it's all of these innovations that you used to have to purchase separately for hundreds of dollars, mushed into one. So it's literally like a super machine for $1,500. And many of the iPhones are even cheaper than that. So yeah, I don't know how we got on that topic, but it's fascinating. I think it's because we were talking about these displays. All right, here's the main Starbucks. You have the Carlos Bakery here. And this is One Times Square. On the top of this building, this is where they dropped the ball. Hey, Sharon says, hey Tom, where are we headed? We're going to go to the West Village tonight. JJ says, what was the global electronics industry and global auto industry doing between 1960 and Y2K? No innovation, quite frankly. Well, it takes time. I wouldn't say that there's no innovation. The way I would describe it, and maybe you're right, but the way I describe it is the following. It's kind of like an S-curve, like a big adoption curve, right? You have years and years and years and years of nothing, and then it just kind of goes off on one. Hold on, let me just try to cross here. So like you'll have years and years like this, and then it just goes off on one, right? It's the same thing, with trying to build a business. It's the same thing with trying to get good at something. You're going to see absolutely no results, like zero results, for 2 or 3 years. And then in the 4th and the 5th year, that's when things get cranking and it goes parabolic. I'd like to think that's probably what happened with technology, and I think we are just coming to the point of terminal velocity where we're just going to keep going up and up and up and up. All right, West 43rd Street. Seems to be a lot of tourists out tonight. You have the Hard Rock. You have the U.S. Armed Forces Recruiting Center. Hey, Bear Market Trader, what's up? Welcome to New York City. Now, speaking about, kind of going off on one, that is what many of the smartest people on Earth as it relates to AI, that's what they're predicting. Oh, are we buffering? Let's try to get out of here. And I think that will be the point in time, or I should say the moment in time, when we reach artificial general intelligence. Let's try to get up on the sidewalk here. There's probably going to be some biker that comes by. Now, if anybody's interested in AI, I have a really good book recommendation. It's called AI Superpowers by Dr. Kai-Fu Lee. Dr. Kai-Fu Lee. And essentially in the book he talks about there's narrow AI and then there's general AI. General AI is kind of like artificial intelligence becoming one with humans, right? Being able to have conversations, being able to do what we do, being able to laugh, being able to have a sense of humor. But narrow AI is using artificial intelligence on one specific task, right? Now, Kai-Fu Lee was the former CEO of Google China. And this was during the tech and telecom boom. So, I mean, imagine trying to grow Google adoption in China in the year 2000, right? Well, look how well that worked out. It didn't work out. But now he's retired. He was a really, really successful guy. And he runs a VC firm called Sinovation Ventures. They're Silicon Valley based, but the interesting thing is they only invest in Chinese AI startups. And the whole premise of the book is very, very fascinating because it breaks down the innovation cycle in China. Now, early on, yes, it's true that most Chinese innovation, I'm using air quotes here, was a complete ripoff of American companies and European companies, right? Like total copy and paste knockoffs. But now, a lot of that has materially changed. There's been tons of investment, tons of innovation in homegrown Chinese AI startups. And sort of the book warns that you shouldn't underestimate Chinese innovation, right? Which I kind of agree and disagree. As you all know, I believe personally that the US will continue to be the leader in innovation for one simple reason. We have free and fair markets and individual property rights. So long as we have individual freedoms and individual property rights, the smartest and most prosperous entrepreneurs from all over the world will choose the US to start their businesses, and that will pretty much be like not only a brain drain, but a capital drain on the world. So that's why it's very, very important. I think a lot of people underestimate the importance of individual freedoms and individual property rights. Extremely important. Guys, this is Joe's Pizza. There's probably going to be a crazy line here. Now, if you're in Miami and you're craving Joe's Pizza, they have a Joe's in Wynwood. It's actually pretty good. I've been there. It is expensive, though, to be honest. Joe's Pizza in Wynwood is freaking crazy. Hey, bear market trader. Says China is in a Great Depression right now. It's very possible. I'm very concerned about the real estate market in China specifically. And I mean, years ago we were talking about the Chinese commercial paper market. Hey, Peter, this is Tom. I went to high school with Kai-Fu Lee, and he was my bridge partner in high school. He is from Taiwan originally, and then he went to Columbia University. Really? Get the hell out of here. I don't know if you're trolling or you're telling the truth, but that is amazing. That is so cool. You went to high school with Kai-Fu Lee. It's unbelievable. That's unreal. And that guy's had a really, really tough life. I mean, he's persevered through some crazy adversities. I forget what kind of cancer he had, but he had like a very, very aggressive cancer, which he survived. He talks about it in his book. I believe it might have been pancreatic cancer. I don't know for sure, but you know, and one of the things he kind of alludes to in the book is, he doesn't come out and say it, but if you kind of read between the lines of the book, you can kind of pick up what he's putting down. He talks about working in corporate America, kind of being on that hamster wheel, and how potential stresses could, you know, impact and lead to these sicknesses in life. So it's important, it's important to work hard, it's important to grind and strive to achieve extraordinary things, but you got to really make sure you're taking care of yourself. Like, that's so important, which I agree. I agree. Guys, look at this line. It comes all the way to the corner. Joe's Pizza's line is out the door all the way down Broadway, pretty much to 40th Street. It's insane. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams almost every single day, starting at 8:30. Go for Hokies is Tom. My mother passed away from pancreatic cancer a month ago, 5-year battle. Oh man, so sorry to hear that, dude. Really, really sorry for your loss. It's terrible. Cancer is terrible. Yeah, man. And the thing that's horrible, the most horrible about pancreatic cancer, unfortunately, is it's so difficult to detect in early stages. The moment that pancreatic cancer shows symptoms, that, most times it means it's kind of too late. The cancer's probably spread elsewhere, and it's tough. Yeah, so once pancreatic cancer shows symptoms, usually it's like very late stage. It's terrible, man. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yes, hello.
Isabel says, thank you for the book recommendations. I just ordered it. Always value your recommendations. Yeah, it's a good book to gain perspective. And think about this. The book was written way before this big tech and AI boom that we're going through right now, right? So in and of itself, he's kind of predicted this. And a chapter in the book talks about how semiconductors, chips, are really going to be the main driver or the power behind artificial intelligence. And it really has been, honestly. I mean, if you look at, this is why, if you ever read one of our newsletters, I've kind of rearranged Dow theory a little bit. Usually in Dow theory, one of the components is that once the Dow transports break out over a previous high, you can confirm that bias to say a new bull market has started. I've swapped out the Dow transports with the SOX, the semiconductor ETF, because the vast majority of innovation is going to be powered by semiconductors, from EVs, machine learning, AI, robotics. I mean, just think about, every single thing we use in our everyday life has chips in it. To this iPhone that we are live streaming on, to, your ovens, your stoves, your microwaves, dishwasher, washer, dryer, your vehicles, all the electronic components in an EV, right? Opto says, hey everybody, hope you're enjoying your evening. Thanks so much. Kathleen says, could you please repeat the book recommendation? It's called AI Superpowers by Dr. Kai-Fu Lee. So Kaifulee, AI Superpowers. Now, there was a newer book that just came out, which is a little bit of an interesting take. I'm not like a big fan of the structure of the book. It was all right, I bought it, I read it. It's called AI 2041. And it's a series of artificial intelligence predictions that are real predictions, but they are wrapped up in a, fiction style way, if you will. I'm not a big fan of fiction, but I think this works, funny enough. All right. Well, we're halfway there. We're making good time. This is West 36th Street, and we are about to be at 34th Street Herald Square, which is the main Macy's. All right, Now maybe we'll have enough time to cruise around Koreatown. Oops. I think there's something going on up here. Let's try to avoid it.
By law, it's okay, you cannot sleep. Okay, I don't believe in you.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I swear to God, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. You're talking a lot of shit. I'm waiting. I'm here. Man to man. Face to face.
Oh shit.
Motherfucker. Be a fucking man. Be a man. I'm right here. Watch the flag. Motto a motto. Right here. Motherfucker.
Now a lot of times when I'm taking the train, particularly the 6 train, I don't know what's going on with the 6 train. There's one of those guys that just has one of these mental breakdowns on the train. Hold on, let's just cross here. But a lot of times it actually may be the same guy. Like that's one of the negatives about taking the subway. 99% of the time it's going to be fine, but then you could just tell when a troublemaker gets in your car and you're like, oh shit, and then he makes a big scene, he gets in everybody's face, he threatens everybody. All these pigeons. I know Go for Hokies is a great job from that guy not reacting. I would just walk away, honestly. Yeah, old Wise House, Tom, the 6 train is the worst. I don't know, it's always problems on the green line. So 4, 5, 6, I always have issues on that. Guys, check this out. Beautiful Empire State Building. Old Wise House is the 2 and the 6 trains are the most likely to have a show. You know, I've never had an issue on the 2 train. I don't know why. I almost never, it's almost non-existent to have an issue on the 1 train. But now that my office is on the east side of Manhattan, I've been taking the 6 train a lot. And I never used to take the 6 train ever. But always, it's a problem. Oops, let's hurry it up across the street. Yeah, I know. Alan says it's honestly gross how little funding we have for mental health, for sure. Geo says a homeless guy spit on me 2 weeks ago right where you're at. Yeah, I mean, you really got to watch it. These people are very unhinged. And it's really, really sad, and it's becoming a crisis. You know, I have my own theories as to why this is happening. It's really the drugs, particularly the fentanyl. Now, the fentanyl is so potent and so harsh, where it literally, and I'm not saying this to kind of be funny or to get a rise, it turns people into like non-human zombies. If anybody knows anyone with a fentanyl addiction or, you know, has seen anybody on fentanyl, it's really frightening. Really, really frightening, and it makes people have these like out-of-body reactions, and they go crazy. And that's a big problem here in New York, and really all across the United States is the fentanyl. So in my view, if you want to stop all this crazy, mental health stuff, you got to stop the fentanyl, because that like compounds the problem. Because the issue that I see anyway, and I have a lot of buddies in the NYPD. I went to a criminal justice school, so I mean a lot of my friends are NYPD, Nassau County, things like that. If you're on fentanyl, it's almost impossible for you to hold a real job, so that 90% of the time that leads to homelessness. And then when you're on the street, it just compounds and compounds and compounds. Then you do a crime, then you have a criminal record. Then even if you get clean, you can't get a job and your life is destroyed. So I think hard drugs and fentanyl is really the issue. And it's coming through the southern border. It's coming from China. And unfortunately, our politicians don't do anything about it. That's just the truth. All right, guys, here we are in Koreatown. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods in New York. I feel like I say that all the time. I'm like, here we are in Billionaires Row, my favorite neighborhood in New York. But this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in New York, Koreatown. Very fun, lots of nightlife, really good restaurants, really good bakeries too. You have Gray Street, fantastic. We talked about that. If you want to get like boba or Dalgona coffee, this is a really, really good place up here.
I didn't know just what was wrong with me.
Hey, Paul says people know what it will do and should never start, yet they do. So I used to think like that. I really, really did. I used to think the same thing, like, it's, let me just cross here. A lot of traffic. I want to watch it so I don't get knocked off or something like that. But, I used to think, you got to take it upon yourself, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and, get off the drugs. Until I actually started to work alongside and take a class on narcotics in college with some, ex-NYPD police captains, and I actually have people friends in the NYPD now. Fentanyl is not a choice. I'm convinced of that. To be on fentanyl is not a choice. And it may sound crazy, like I used to think, but no. If you actually like work with addicts, you'll understand like, whoa, this is like a whole different animal. This is not someone's choice to do this. Like once you're hooked on it, it's you're gonna move heaven and earth to get more fentanyl. You're gonna rob, steal, cheat, and quite frankly, kill to get it. It's that bad. Oh, this place is new. It's like a Korean dessert place. Koreatown is always busy, particularly on the weekends. We just passed the H Mart too. I'm seeing some of the comments about pull yourself up by the bootstraps. In terms of economically, it's possible. I'm more specific, the specificity of if you're on fentanyl. It's not like a lot of people will just go to an addict and say, hey, just get off of it. It's pretty much impossible. And I know that sounds crazy, but like seeing it and being involved in it. I would classify it, like if I had a position of power in the government, I would classify fentanyl as a WMD, as a weapon of mass destruction. I honestly would. That's how destructive and crazy it is. Hey, Mikey, so this is your favorite area in New York City? It's one of them. This is one of my favorite bakeries in all New York City. It's called Gray Street. This place is fantastic. You can tell it's good. Look at the line. Well, we'll wait until the van goes by. But yeah, Koreatown's awesome. It's very lively. It's a very young vibe too. A lot of young kids. Food Gallery 32 is pretty good. Pelicana Chicken is on the second floor. I'd highly recommend it. Great spot. This place is really good, guys. We might as well just check out all the spots in Koreatown tonight on our way. So this is kind of like a Korean restaurant for prepared food. So when you walk in here, on the right-hand side, you're gonna see all those little, sort of like those racks. That's where they have all the prepared food. So during lunch, you could just walk right in here and just grab something and go. It's kind of like homemade Korean cooking. Like a lot of my Korean friends are like, yeah, this is like kind of the stuff that my mom used to make and pack for lunch. So you just grab it off the racks, you pay for it, and you can bring it back to the office. This place is actually really good. Hey, Cosmo's here. What's up? Cosmo, when are you coming back to New York, man? New York misses you. We gotta have more Cosmo Scary before the summer.
Yes.
You've been traveling a lot, right? You and Action Kid are freaking world travelers. You go all over the place. Now this is another good spot too, guys. BCD Tofu House. Really good. They have a good lunch special too, so it's not that expensive. Never been to Five Senses though. Wow, Cosmos is coming back soon. I'm enjoying Mexico. Oh man. Super jealous. It's probably tropical, beautiful, great weather. Well, hopefully you're enjoying your time there, man. Cosmo, I think I recommended this place to you before, but since I'm right in front of it, I might as well do it again. This place, Sorimara, it's relatively new. I think it opened just after Christmas. It's a Korean place, right? But they serve malatang, which is a traditional Chinese dish. It's like a hot pot Chinese dish, which is very good, but it's spicy, so you gotta watch out. It's like ridiculously spicy. So, check it out. You go through this door and you walk up the stairs to the second floor, and the restaurant's like right above this scaffolding. It's really good. It's called Sorimara. So here's what you do. You walk in there, right? You walk in. You're gonna grab a bowl. They have this big round bowl, and then you go over to the refrigerators, and they have, I mean, every type of vegetable, every type of tofu you could imagine is in there. They have lamb. They have pork, they have beef, they have seafood, everything. You pick what you want, and then when you're done, you take it up to the front, and then they can either make it into like a hot pot soup for you, or they can make it dry with noodles, and then they bring it to your table. It's really cool. It's a good place. Expensive though. If you want the same type of food, just go to Chinatown in Queens, Flushing, and they'll do a similar style, but it's going to be a little bit cheaper. This is like $20 a pound here, which is really, really expensive. $20 a pound is really expensive. Hey, Victor, this is Tom. What do you like better, New York or Miami? That's tough. I don't think I could answer that, honestly. I really like New York. I really like Miami. I would say I like Miami better in the winter, and I like New York City better in the spring and in the summer. This may be a hot take, but I'm convinced there's no better place to be than New York City in the summer. Like, it's just impossible. I think those New Yorkers that are in the chat know what I'm talking about. You know, it's a Friday night in August, it's 85 degrees out, you just got out of work, you're walking through Soho, you're going through Chinatown, there's all crazy stuff going on. I mean, there's no better place to be than New York City in the summer. It's an awesome place. You go to sleep, you wake up, you walk around Central Park. I mean, it's just an unreal place. Look at this. Empire State Building is lit up, what, for the New York Knicks, I think? There was a Knicks game tonight? Mr. King of Florida says, Cosmo, scary, your videos are cool. Yeah, oh, dude. For those of you who don't know, this guy, one of our moderators, Cosmo, and this isn't an exaggeration, by the way, unbelievably talented cinematographer. It's unreal. If you check out his videos on his channel, it's like you're watching a multi-million-dollar production. He's that talented. It's awesome stuff. I just wish Cosmo would publish more videos, man. He has his own style about it. It's really good stuff. JM says the humidity is unbearable, though. Yeah, I don't know. I like the humidity. New York in the summer is unbearable, too. But I'd rather it be hot and humid than it be freezing or raining or windy. At least that's my take, anyway. All right, last restaurant recommendation, and then we got to pick up the pace because we have to head to the East or the West Village. Right here on East 31st Street, it's one of my favorite restaurants. Well, I should say favorite Korean restaurants. It's right down here. If you want to come here, look up. If you see the Empire State Building, and if you're on 5th Avenue and 31st Street, just go ahead and bang this left. You're going to go past the Arlo Hotel, and then you're going to see a very little restaurant called Take 31. And it's going to be next to another restaurant called Her Name is Han. Now, they're owned by the same owner. It's really good Korean food, and it's open late. Now, if you go on a weekend, okay, very important. If you go on a weekend, you're going to have to make a reservation because it's so busy. But usually most weeknights, I would say Monday through Thursday, you could probably just walk right in. But that's some of the best Korean food I've ever had in the city, honestly. All right, this building right here, guys, you see it? Now, this building is very controversial because if you stand directly at the base of the Flatiron Building on 23rd Street, you used to be able to see this amazing view of the Empire State Building. Unfortunately, you can't see it anymore because this big monstrosity of a condominium blocks the entire view. You'll see what we mean once we get to the Flatiron District. But Melissa 2087 says Take 31 is pretty good. I had it in December. What'd you get?
I told y'all. There usually is one by the Flatiron.
What dish did you get? I usually get that kind of like pasta dish, like seafood pasta dish. Kim Smith says, is anyone smoking happy for 420? I'm sure they are. I'm surprised I don't smell as much. Oh, look at this. Huh. Wow, this is going to be new residential. Expected completion is in June of 2025. I'll have to do some research into this. I'm surprised I haven't heard of it. Great location. Really, really good location. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm surprised I don't smell marijuana tonight. Usually you could, I mean, at 420 you really, really smell it in the city. I don't smell it at all. Yo, the RVer TV, what's up? This is Hey Tom, good evening. NYC looks alive and well. Yeah, it's a pretty busy night. We just walked through Times Square in Koreatown, and now we are going to head through NYU, Washington Square Park, and we are going to end up in the West Village. Now, did anybody see that new statistic that came out that says the overwhelming majority of Gen Z and millennials are giving up alcohol? So if you compare the amount of drinkers, baby boomers and such, and you compare that kind of stigma to Gen Z and millennials, overwhelmingly, Gen Z and millennials are not drinking alcohol. Has anybody else heard that? And does anybody have any reasons as to why? Why might that be? I don't know, honestly. I'm not a drinker, I don't drink. But anybody know why? Like, why do you think that would be, if you had to take a guess? Oh, nice. Melissa 2087 says you got the Korean Army soup. Ah, cool. Let me take a screenshot of your order, because I may get that order again. Somebody says alcohol isn't healthy. Yeah. Yep. Cassie says alcohol is just as bad as fentanyl. You don't make sense. I don't make sense. And I don't know about that. I wouldn't say alcohol is just as bad as fentanyl. I mean, if you came to me and said, hey, if you had to take some alcohol or take some fentanyl, I'd probably be, I'd probably be gassing a couple beers. Tree Khan says yes. Let me see. Sorry. So you said they're not drinking because they have learned their lesson? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. It's quite interesting though, right? Cassie says you are not educated in biology. That's actually true, I'm not. So maybe you're right. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I am not educated at all in biology. That is true. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt. I just find that hard to believe. Alcohol is just as bad as fentanyl? Oh well. All right, let's go over to Broadway. And you guys will be able to see this complete transformation of Broadway. It's closed down to street traffic.
This man's still 10 minutes.
By the way,
Look at this. So no vehicle traffic. You have expanded bike lanes. This gelato place is always packed. I mean, a drink once in a while, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to kill you, right? This is a rooftop bar here. Hold on. Now, guys, I was in Bryant Park today. Oh my God, talk about unbelievably beautiful. I stopped and took a standalone video, which I'll upload it pretty soon, but wow. I mean, Bryant Park looked absolutely unreal today. Because the lawn at Bryant Park is all set in place, but it's not open yet. So you had a really nice juxtaposition of everybody sitting out, hanging out around the lawn, but the lawn was this like super vivid green. It was awesome. Anyway, so this is 230 Fifth Avenue. This is one of the famous rooftop bars. I wonder what this is going to be. It says Nomad Girl. I didn't know my alcohol comment was going to set off a firestorm in the chat. Guys, it's all right. It'll be okay. All right, let me do a quick time check here. But if you guys are enjoying the stream so far tonight, please leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams every single day, usually starting at 8:30.
What about like how they depicted like?
And we'd love to have you along for the ride. Now, on the topic of alcohol, though, for whatever reason, here's like a very obscure thing on YouTube that I've been binge watching recently, and I kind of go in and out of binge watching things. And since it's Saturday night, you know, this Saturday Night Live stream, anything goes. So there's this YouTube channel that sometimes, you know, if I'm doing work at my desk in the office, I'll leave it up and I'll just let it run. I think it's called the Whiskey Vault. I think it's called the Whiskey Vault. And it's these two guys, and they know everything that there is to know about whiskey and bourbon. And the whole channel is them reviewing these different bourbons and these different whiskeys. And it's so interesting. And again, I don't even drink this stuff, but I watch the videos. I'll crush like 2 hours of this stuff. When I'm at my desk, I'll leave it up. You know, I'll listen to them, and they know everything about it. It's so impressive. They know where it was, like they know where the particular grains were coming from. They know the specific barrels, like the casks. You know, they know how long it was aged. They know everything about it. It's so interesting. These two guys, I believe it's called the Whiskey Vault, and they give you like pointers and tips. If you're trying to build a bourbon collection. So now I'm all gung-ho about buying and collecting bourbons, and I don't even drink them. So I think if I ever build out like a whiskey room in my house, I may like collect old bottles for fun and just like have tastings at my house and do cool stuff. I don't know. And that whole YouTube channel got me on it. Anybody seen that channel, by the way? These guys are actually pretty talented. They know everything they know about bourbon. They're like encyclopedias. Gopher says, is it on YouTube? Yeah, it's on YouTube for sure. All right, guys, Flatiron Building. Check it out. Looks pretty good. Now this is going to be converted into condos. I was checking out some of the renderings online. They do look good, but here's the thing. It's so narrow, the floor plates here. Quite obviously, right? Flatiron. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I think people are just going to buy these condos just to say that they own something in the Flatiron, but I don't know. Matthew says you think cigars are cool. that's really, really big in Miami. Really, really big. Katie says booze is expensive. Yeah. DLX says yes, there's a whole ecosystem with bourbon hunters on YouTube. They go into liquor store hunting, particularly brands of whiskey and bourbon. Yeah, and so there's this, for any bourbon drinkers, I was on this project, well, we're still on the project, in Red Hook, Brooklyn. And it's right across the street. How am I forgetting the name of it? From the Widow Jane. Oof, that wind is terrible. So it's right across the street from Widow Jane. I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with the Widow Jane bourbon, but they have this bottle of bourbon that's like $300. I think it's aged like 20 years. And yeah, it's in Red Hook, Brooklyn. And it's right across the street from one of the buildings we're selling. 199 Conover Street in Red Hook, Brooklyn. And we actually set the record for the highest comp in Red Hook, Brooklyn's history. Just set it. You'll probably see it out on the Real Deal pretty soon. So if you see an article out in the Real Deal, we'll be in it. You'll see me. 199 Conover Street. We sold the penthouse, $2.6 million in Red Hook. Crazy, right? But Red Hook, Brooklyn's really coming up in a major way, and the demand has been pretty steady. Great developer, great developer, Lee Cohen. I've learned a lot from him so far. He's the CEO and founder of Red Hook Partners, and they actually have a new building going up in Bay Harbor Islands, which I'm going to be showing you guys soon. I did a little bit of a walking tour around Bay Harbor Island last time I was in Miami. All right, I got to pull off to the side here and plug in the phone. Let me see. All right, give me a minute. All right, I think we're good. Cool. So we're now transitioning from really Midtown, or we have transitioned from Midtown Manhattan into Nomad and then the Flatiron District. And now we're going to take this all the way down past 14th Street. We're going to go to Washington Square Park, which is going to be right on 8th Street, the campus of New York University. And then we'll take a little bit of a walk around the West Village. Hey, Esmeralda, what's going on? Welcome to New York. Now you're also going to notice a lot of the different architecture here.
I don't know.
Joe Kansas says, what does nomad refer to? Take a guess. Let's see if anybody in the chat knows. Laces says, I'm 86 tomorrow. Wow, dude, that's awesome. Well, God bless, happy birthday, and here's to another 86 years. With the new modern technology we have coming out, it's possible. Hey, someone says, can I say hi to Dimitri? I can. Dimitri, good to see you. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Welcome to New York. Angela says, I was at Washington Square Park earlier. They were celebrating cannabis. So good luck. Yeah, it is 420. Usually it is very lively and nice. All right. We're good. You know where I really want to stream from tomorrow? If it's nice and it's not windy and it's like perfect weather tomorrow, I really want to go through the entirety of the Lower East Side, all the way by the Williamsburg Bridge. We haven't been there in probably 2 years, literally on the stream. Could go by Katz's Deli. Hey, Tariq Khan, thank you so much for your very generous $20 donation. Says happy birthday to me tomorrow, 4/21. Oh, cool. Well, there you go, Tariq. Happy birthday to you, my friend. I should be giving you $20, not the other way around. But thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it very much. As always. And then Diego says, hey bro, from Argentina. Love it. You know what I noticed? Now, again, since it's Saturday, we'll kind of bounce all over the place with the topics. So I was looking at the analytics, right? The YouTube analytics. And it's so fascinating. YouTube, it's really mind-boggling just how much data these corporations have on us. It's pretty scary. Right? It's pretty scary. And that's just the data that we know about, right? So in the YouTube analytics, you can see so granular that you can see how people are consuming the content you're creating. I can see what percentage of people are watching this content on a TV. I can see what percent of people are watching this on a smartphone. And I can see what percent of these people are watching it on a tablet. Now, if you had to guess, okay, how many, well, let's just say the majority of people, how do you think most people watch this stream, watch Walks of Wall Street? Do you think it's on a cell phone, a tablet, a TV? Like, what would you guess? And you can kind of use this answer as a leading economic indicator for where the future of media in general is going. And I think you've been seeing it in the deterioration of cable TV. Once is where are we going? We're gonna go to the West Village. Brian's his phone, Gene's his phone. Stan, yeah, I could see PCs too. Many people are saying phone. Triple G's his laptop. Coco's his cell phone all the way. I'm seeing tablet. Sunshine After Rain says cell phone. UniJ23 says phone. Wow, a lot of people saying phone. Diana says tablet. Patricia Ivory says I watched on my TV. All right, so the overwhelming majority of people are saying cell phone, which is very interesting. Emmanuel says TV. Brian says TV. over 57% of people, 57% of people watch this stream on their TVs. Isn't that crazy? So more than half people watch this on a TV. I was not expecting that at all. I thought it was going to be a smartphone. Now, I guess I could definitely see that happening. Like, imagine if, like, this is how I visualize it, right? Because this is going to kind of tie back into, you know, legacy media, traditional media. There's a lot of independent journalists out there, right? I'll name a few, both the right and the left. Like, you have, like, the Daily Wire. I think that's Ben Shapiro's company. You have TYT, the Young Turks, which would be a more left-leaning publication with Cenk Uygur, I believe his name is, and so on, right? Many people, instead of tuning in to, let's say, a Fox News or a CNN, they probably watch independent media that's streamed online, like on a YouTube or something like that, or any other platform like a Rumble, whatever. And that's really cannibalizing or really gaining market share from traditional cable television. And you see it in the ratings. I mean, you see it in the ratings in a major way. There was this report that was put out, and don't quote me on these numbers. I would just say Google it and look it up for yourself. This is just from what I remember. I think Anderson Cooper Primetime, so he's one of the main hosts for CNN. I believe nightly viewership is around 500,000 people. Okay. Podcasts, like notable, the best performing podcasts like Joe Rogan, I think there's 17 million listens. I mean, that's wild. That's really wild. And they listed the top 10 kind of podcasts in America, every single one of them. And both, you know, there's political shows, there's comedy shows from really all over. And the top 10 dwarf the ratings of Fox News and CNN. Totally blow it out of the water. It's really just goes to show where things are going, like how people are consuming content and media. Hey, Gene S., what's going on? David says, what motivates me to do these streams every day? I don't really have motivation to do it. It's just become routine. I think it's just become a part of who I am in a non-corny way. And for developing habits, there's been multiple studies done. There's a really good book called Atomic Habits, which if you really want to change your life, so if anybody's watching this and you're in a little bit of a rut, let's say you lost your job or things aren't going well, or you know, you're not hitting your quota or whatever it is, right? Stop everything you're doing and just order this book right now. Go to Amazon, spend the $20 and order it. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And you know, it's a little hokey, right? It's a little self-help kind of hokey nonsense. But if you actually read it, process it, and just give it a chance and just do it, like actually physically do everything in that book, in a year your life is going to be totally different, like in a major way. And essentially, if you can do something every day for 30 days, you're going to get over that hump where everything is so laborious and so taxing and I don't want to do it, and it becomes routine, it becomes second nature. So let's say if you're in a sales job, right? And it pains you to pick up the phone and make a cold call. You're like, oh my God, hell on earth. I can't make this cold call. And I was like that too. Start with just doing one. Force yourself to do one. Hang up the phone, and then go home. The next day, do 5. 5 calls, hang up the phone, go home, right? Then add every day and just do it every day. And sooner or later, you're going to be banging out 50 calls a day, and it's going to become routine. All of those fears, all those butterflies you get of picking up the phone and doing it is just going to melt away. It's the craziest thing. And you could apply this to every aspect of your life. Let's say if you want to eat healthy, you hate eating vegetables, literally start with one, what do they call it? Head of broccoli or something, like one little teeny tiny little piece of broccoli like that big, and eat it once a day for a week. You know, choke it down, whatever you got to do, and do that for a week. Just one piece. And then the next week, make it 2. And then compound that, and pretty soon, in a year, you're going to be eating a whole serving of broccoli every day in perpetuity forever. So it's little things. If you can get over the hump, just do it routinely and make it a systematic process, you're going to kill, you're going to crush. So I guess to tie it back to the stream, we've been doing these streams almost every day for 2 hours. Why do I do it? I don't even know at this point. Because I just do it. Like, it's just something I do. It's like, 8:30 or 9 o'clock, time to do the stream. Like, I don't even think about it anymore. It's just, this is what I do. That's it. Somebody says, what is the book called? It's called Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits by James Clear. All right, finally here, Washington Square Park. You could do the same thing with reading. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Set a stopwatch for 5 minutes. Force yourself to read for 5 minutes. Once the timer goes off, close the book, throw it on the other side of the room, right? Pretty soon, you're gonna be reading an hour a day, and you're gonna feel weird if you don't do it, right? Everything is about duration over long periods of time. Everything in duration is the key to everything. Do it every day in perpetuity forever. Don't even think about it. Just think about doing the routine in a systematic way in perpetuity forever. And you can apply that to anything. Working out, at work, right? Maybe you're in sales. Just build it into your routine. Paul says, do you still enjoy the stream? Oh yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the stream is honestly a real blessing. I mean, if you really think about it, I'm able to turn on a live broadcast and every night, and just 800 people concurrently show up. Just like a flip of a switch. That's like a real blessing. It really is. Because you get to meet so many different people from all over the world. You get to have so many different perspectives. I mean, we have people from all over the world watching. And I take that seriously because time is the most important thing. Oh, look at this. It's like this cartoon character smoking a joint. You know, because time is the most important thing. And if people are choosing to allocate their time towards something that I create, I'm going to try to do the best job as I can. You know, I think I try to do a pretty good job, you know, Monday through Friday. I mean, pretty much every day without fail. We systematically, routinely cover the financial markets, you know, talk about best practices, and we're pretty disciplined in it. So I would say, yeah, I think it's great. Now, I get that it's 4:20, if that means you should just trash and litter the park, you know? I mean, it's like squalor all over the place. I mean, I support, you know, the smoking weed, having a good time, but I mean, aren't the majority of these people NYU students? I mean, usually, you know, a student from NYU, pretty liberal, right? Left-leaning. Aren't they supposed to be like environmentalists? You're trashing and littering everything. Anyway. I mean, how is this good for the environment? Alright, let's cross back over to West Village. Oh, is it really Earth Day today? That's, oh my god, how ironic that is. Now, one of my first bosses ever, he's such a hard ass, like the classic, you know, think about, and I think for all the New Yorkers, Long Islanders out there, you'll get exactly what I'm saying. You'll be like, yep, that's the exact kind of person, you know, that is. Think about an original, like, most stereotypical Italian Long Islander sales manager out of the 1980s. That was one of my first managers ever when I was an account executive at Sprint. We had our corporate headquarters on Long Island in Melville, but we moved because our team was killing it. We were crushing it. We got a really nice office, very cushy, beautiful office in Manhattan. And this guy, I won't say his name, but oftentimes if you would drive to work, I'm just trying to walk backwards because it's so windy. If you drove to work, sometimes the manager would walk out to your car and he would check in and see if your car is dirty. And if your car was dirty, he would confront you about it and say, "Why is your car dirty?" He says, "I don't hire people and I don't promote people if their car is dirty." He's like, "And you're not hitting your number." And he's mentioned that in like sales meetings. You know, he would single somebody out. He's like, "Hey, you're not hitting your number. You haven't hit your number for 3 months. And I walked outside and you have garbage all over the floor in your car. That's probably why you're not hitting your number." And a lot of other crazy stuff too, which we won't go into. And he would say, "I want you to leave the office, go clean your effing car, come back, keep your car clean, and I bet you hit your number." And in a way, maybe kind of had a point. You know, I think you can really tell someone's character by the way they conduct themselves, present themselves, you know, old school stuff. You know, check their apartment. Is their apartment like in squalor, or is everything squared away, right? Are they wearing nice clothes, or is everything all stained? I think you can kind of tell, you know, everything's squared away. You know, it's like being a professional operator, I guess. Anyway. Washington Place, 6th Avenue. There's a Ralph's Italian Ice over here. Oh my gosh. More wind. Yeah, tree cons. This is a trickle-down effect. Make sure you make your bed for sure. There was I think it was a commencement speech by some military commander that I watch sometimes, and he's like, you know, just definitely make your bed in the morning. Just simple things. Yeah, I mean, like Tariq says, you know, if you let one little thing go, then it compounds into another mistake. And then 3 mistakes compound into like a crazy, you know, ball of hell that's gonna, you know, throw off your life. Troy Atman, you're right. I think that's who it was. William McRaven. All right, everybody, let's cross over and check out the West Village a little bit. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to like the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. I'm gonna see if I can plug back in the microphone because the wind is, I mean, really, really picking up. This is Cornelia Street. This is where Taylor Swift used to live. Let me see if I can plug back in the mic. Man, that must be like 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts. All right. Yeah, this should make it better. All right. A lot of really nice, quiet streets down here. Yeah, the audio is a little bit better, right? Yeah, because the mic has a wind guard on it. Should help. Look at this outdoor dining place. We're gonna walk past John's Bleecker. And here we are, Bleecker Street. I like a lot of these buildings here.
Yeah, well, no, I actually like it. I think it's a relic. Not as well as it
So you have John's just off to the left. Now, they don't sell individual slices. I think the city has taken down a lot of the outdoor dining, but I think that's a mistake. I think they should be able to leave the outdoor dining spaces open so long as they maintain them, because it allows more capacity for the restaurants. And a lot of these small businesses went through hell during the pandemic, so they should be able to have kind of expanded dining in perpetuity. What do you think about these low-rise, pre-war buildings, fire escapes? I think that's what makes the Village very unique. I like it. Older style. I was helping a client look at an apartment here, 32 Jones Street. Really, really old building though. Now those traffic lights are about probably 150 pounds, and the wind is blowing them all over. That's how windy it is. Oh, yikes. Almost a little fender bender there. You can see the spire of the World Trade Center. All right, let's cross since we have the light. And then you have Bleecker Street Pizza, not to be confused with John's Bleecker. Connor says Swift lives at 155 Franklin. Well, if anybody knows Taylor Swift, I have an apartment for sale at Franklin Place. Maybe she'll buy that. And if anybody's looking to move to Tribeca, or you know somebody looking to move to Tribeca, I have an amazing listing. Beautiful. 5 Franklin Place apartment 8A. Check it out. Come by anytime. I'd love to show you around. It's on a private street, and it has a car elevator in the building. It's on the market for $3,495,000, which, if you price it on a price per square foot basis, we priced it very attractive at $1,776 a foot. In Tribeca, that's pretty good. $1,776 a foot. Now, do you think we did that on purpose, pricing it at $1,776 a foot? $1,776. Or do you think that was just a coincidence? I don't know. Ooh, look at this, Arthur's Tavern. Wow, the Village is rocking tonight, guys. Coco's is 3 million. No, 3,495,000. Not 3 million. Yeah, Tariq, I like that number too. One of my favorite numbers, 1776. Okay, let's cross here. And we'll venture a little bit further in. Christopher Street. You get the 1 train. Look at these beautiful flowers here. Now, if you're ever in the city on Halloween, West Village is probably the most lively place for Halloween. Also, Washington Square Park too. I'd say either or, that or the other places. Most lively. Back on 7th Avenue, we are going to cross. Hey, John Sunderland, what's going on? This is Tom. I always enjoy your streams no matter where you are. I think I like Miami more than New York City. Yeah, Miami is a fun town, man. I always have a lot of fun when I'm in Miami. It's different, right? It's a different vibe, it's a different atmosphere, but you know, I like both. I tend to like both. I'd say I'd like maybe Miami a little bit better in the winter. Actually, a lot better in the winter. All right, everybody, let me cross the street and show you this. This is the very famous Stonewall Inn right here. Check it out. Oh, there's scaffolding all over it. So here we have Stonewall Inn. We'll head a little bit further down too. Sharon says, I like how clean Miami is, for sure. I do too. That's one thing you'll always notice about Miami, Sunny Isles Beach, Brickell, downtown Miami. The place is like almost too clean. It's like eerily spotless. It's just fun. It's a fun place to be. All right, we'll try to cross with this group. It's funny, I think a lot of New Yorkers feel the same way. If you see one person cross out in the middle of the intersection, you're more likely to go too, because it's like, look, if this guy's gonna knock off one person, he's gonna have to mow us all down. And hopefully that decreases the likelihood of that happening. This is Jeffrey's Grocery. I've eaten here once. It's all right, honestly. It's right on the corner of Christopher Street. Solo Flyer says Dubai is clean like that. I can't even believe what went on in Dubai over the last week. So much flooding. I can't even, it's insane. Hey, Mohammed. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, Lee, for sure. The walkability of New York City makes it fantastic. Absolutely, absolutely agree. Love these brick buildings. Javi H says New York City has much more soul to offer than Miami. Maybe, but you know, I originally thought that too, but here's what I would suggest. Next time you're in Miami, go buy yourself or rent a Vespa and just cruise through the whole city. It's like so diverse, it's crazy. One of my favorite things to do is actually take my Vespa from my house to the airport. The drive on the Vespa from my house to the airport, you go through all the amazing places, but then you go through like the really back roads places in Miami where it's like all these auto body shops. Nobody speaks English, like nobody. You have these little cafecito places inside an auto body shop, and there's this little lady, you know, serving like these little cafecito things. It's like it's so cool, man. It's like the coolest thing ever. It feels like you're not even in the United States. It feels like you're in another country. It's awesome. But then you're in Brickell and everything's modern, everything's, you know, kind of like Manhattan. And then you could take a trip up to Little Buenos Aires, 72nd Street, and everything is like living in Argentina, in a way. Then you can go to like all the way out to Hialeah through Little Haiti. I know there's some parts of Little Haiti that are like oof, but it's like a cool experience. It's a very, very cool city. Just like New York. All right, everyone. Well, I guess we'll call it a night. We're a little bit over 2 hours. If you guys enjoyed our live stream tonight and you want to join us tomorrow, click the subscribe button. And feel free to leave a like on the video. We will be here tomorrow again at 8:30 p.m. doing the Markets A Look Ahead live stream. If you want to sign up to receive all of our free equity research, feel free to scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, and that will take you to our Substack. We publish on our Substack every other Thursday right after the market closes, and oftentimes we put in video tours of some of our cool listings here in New York City. So guys, see you tomorrow. Happy 420 for all of our marijuana smokers in the chat, and we'll see you later. All right, take care. Austin City Limits, Steph UF, O Wise Owl, Richard Vogel, Mohammed, thank you, sir. Brian, Tariq Khan, thank you for your support. Lisa Davis, Creative, Esmeralda, DM, there's always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. See you guys tomorrow. Jeff Southern Tier, New York, Gene, take care.